Hello everybody and welcome to the channel. My name is Flammy, and in this video I'm actually gonna be doing something that you have been asking me for a long time. Pretty much ever since I finished up reacting to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the 2003 series. And that is reacting to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the 2012 series. I've been unwilling to react to this series for this long, mainly because I didn't want to just jump straight into the same universe again, or the same series again, right after I finished another one. Like, that's also the reason why I'm not getting into the Transformers, the series that follows Transformers Armada, because there is a sequel series to it as well, because I don't want to just jump into it right off the bat. And in the future, for example, in the future, whenever I get to react to Ben 10, once I finish the original Ben 10 series, I'm not gonna just jump into Alien Force right off the bat, because I'd like to switch it up a little bit, because it takes so long to react to these series. I don't want to end up reacting to one series for like 2 years or something like that, you know? But finally, because a lot of people have been asking me, and also because I ended up looking some of the episodes and it seemed kind of fun, like it actually was pretty fun, I decided, what the hell, let's just do it. Plus, it's gonna give me some views, so hey. So yeah, I'm actually relatively excited to check it out, to see how exactly I'm gonna feel about it, because this, even though I have like watched it before, it was in like 2015, 14, and back then I was a different person, and back then I also watched it in my own native language, so this is definitely gonna be a different experience, and maybe I'm gonna enjoy it more now. I don't know. It's not like I hated it when I watched it for the first time a long time ago, but the reason why I wasn't as big of a fan of it is because I feel like it was a comedy first and an action show second, like an action cartoon second. While the original 2003 series is a action show first and a comedy second, you know? I hope you see the difference between the two. I can also give you more of an example of exactly what I mean, because if you look at the 2003 series, let's say the turtles are in some important or dangerous situation. Sure, they might joke about it and throw jokes here and there or something like that, but they're still gonna be serious about what they're gonna be doing. And I'm sure that in this show they will be as well, but there's going to be like this moment where they're just gonna stop for a second for a joke. Like, I'm pretty sure we might even see it in this first episode, so I'm gonna point it out whenever it happens, just to give you more of an example about what I'm talking about. But basically, in the case of this series, it would be like the characters being in a serious situation. Like, for example, I think in one of these episodes in the beginning, when they're gonna be leaving the lair to go on the surface, Splinter is gonna warn them, and just as they're about to leave, he's just gonna call them back and do some joke and say some joke or something like that. I'm pretty sure that pretty much happens in the first episode, so I'm gonna point it out whenever it happens. But to me, that's annoying, because instead of having this serious or emotional moment, you ruin it by making a joke out of it. Or, like, for example, I just thought of something because I've seen some clips of this series. I think at one point during this series, the Turtles ask Splinter who is his favorite turtle, and he at first says that he loves all of them equally, but then goes into his room and gets out of the room, opens the door of his room, going out, and just says Leonardo. Like, that's annoying. You destroyed the relationship between the turtles with just one joke, for the sake of one joke. That's the thing I don't like about this series. Because, sure, it's fun, it's entertaining, but it's also not taking itself seriously in that way, you know? It cares more about making the jokes rather than having the plot and the characters. While the 2003 series focuses on the characters more. I guess what I'm trying to say is the 2003 series is more of an action cartoon, while this series is more of a comedy. But still, I'm going to give it, I'm gonna try to get into it with an open mind, and hopefully I'm gonna enjoy it. And hopefully you guys are gonna give me actual views for the channel, because I feel like I've been stagnating a little bit ever since I stopped reacting to it, because my TMNT 2003 videos are still my most popular videos. But yeah, I'm still doing it because I would enjoy it as well, so it's not like I'm doing it for views. But anyway, we're gonna be checking out the first two episodes, which are named Rise of the Turtles Part 1 and Part 2. So I guess without further ado, let's get into Part 1 in 3, 2, 1. I gotta say though, this series actually looks pretty sleek.
Put down the staff and no one gets hurt.
You said that last time, Raph, and then you hurt me.
Yeah, but less than I would have.
Yeah, right.
Also, I guess it's a good thing that in this one the turtles actually feel like teenagers and look like teenagers, because they really didn't in the 2003 series.
Whatever you say.
Doesn't onegaishimasu mean please? Why would he say please? Also, I gotta say, I really like the Japanese anime kind of things that this series does. That's a nice, interesting touch. Also, at first, I didn't like the theme song, but it's grown on me a lot.
Go no further.
You know, I don't like how in this series they are the villains.
We have been seen.
Or at least I think they are the villains. I don't know. I've seen a lot of these series, but I don't really know everything about this series. The one thing that I'm not a big fan of that they did with this series is what they did with Bishop. I don't like that at all. As I pretty much said in my reaction during the 2003 series, they literally took a character that was a Krang, that was a badass in like the 2003 series, and just put the name Bishop on it for this one.
Space Heroes is a great show, and Captain Ryan is a great hero. Someday, I am going to be just like him.
Well, you do like to hear yourself talk, so you're on your way.
It's go time!
Their first outing. I wonder what they're gonna screw up. Because they always do. You know, now that I think about it, it's so unrealistic that they live in New York and there's literally nobody outside.
Computers?
Even in the night.
Is that the next generation cadmium processor with quantum encryption?
I don't know, Donatello. Is it?
It is!
Guys, check this out! A hand made out of light. Now it's an eye made out of light. In the hand again! Now the eye's back! Now the hand!
Come on, genius.
The eye!
Mikey is so funny in this series. Oh my god, I'm so hungry. I'm literally gonna be eating after I'm done with this video.
Not like any food I ever saw.
And this is not helping me. I'm really hungry. I literally haven't eaten today. I always love seeing them do parkour on the roofs. There's something so cool about that. I wish I could do that as well. As a kid, that's what I loved doing whenever I ended up watching Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Like, that's what I would do for fun afterwards. I would just run around and jump over stuff. Also, the sound design, I love that. Okay, this is a pretty good series.
What the?
He's doing the same thing he did to Donnie, I think.
Oh, come on!
Ooh.
You're
This
never
is it.
gonna believe this! That dude, he had a brain!
We all have brains, Mikey.
Not all of us.
In our chests?
No, Mikey, not in our chests.
If you are to fight more effectively as a unit, you are going to need a leader.
Can I be the leader?
Why should you be the leader? I kicked your butt. I should be the leader.
Hey, I'm smarter than all you guys put together. It should be me.
No way, it should be me! I don't really have a reason. I just think it would be neat.
This is a difficult
I agree.
decision.
See, this is what I'm talking
Meditate
about.
on it. It's Leonardo.
See, you can't have a serious heartfelt scene. No, it's just, it's Leonardo. I hate that kind of shit for this series. It's played off as a joke, which, yeah, we all know that it's gonna be Leonardo, but you could play it more interestingly, maybe have a discussion between the characters about it. Test them out or something.
You have to come up with a better plan, because the four of us standing here with our thumbs up our noses
I don't think they fit.
is pointless.
You sure about that, Raph?
He just showed up, didn't he?
Yep.
I should have complained 2 hours ago.
Gentlemen, I have a bold and daring plan. There is no time
Oh
for
my god.
hesitation.
I'm gonna have a lot of fun
Must
watching
be
this
carried
one.
out Without question.
I don't know what that means. Go around back.
Why don't you just say so?
Oh, I love the jokes. I hope they keep being this good for the whole series.
Mom?
Mom? Oh my god. Okay, that was actually a pretty hilarious episode, all things considered. I mean, I knew that this series was so super funny, but still, I thought it was probably gonna be just like one joke every like 5 minutes, but there have been like quite a few jokes that I have laughed my ass off at. So yeah, this has been actually really, really fun. I'm really enjoying this much more than I thought I would. I still have a lot of the similar problems that I've been saying this series has, like the inability to be serious about anything for a second, but it's still pretty fun overall, so So yeah, as an introductionary episode, it introduces all the stuff we know about the turtles. The backstory is obviously a little bit different in this one, because in this one Splinter is, I think, Yoshi as well. I'm not exactly sure what is considered the original for the TMNT. I don't know if it's the comics or the 80s series. So I don't know if Yoshi and Splinter are always supposed to be different characters or not. I'm just basing my opinions on the 2003 series because that's the one that I grew up with the most. So in this one, apparently, Yoshi and Splinter are basically the same character. But otherwise, it seems like everything is kinda the same. So I guess that's good. There is some difference with the characters, but I don't want to really get into all the stuff right now. We're just gonna get into them as we get into them, like as we see them in the series. For me, the only change that I don't like for sure is Bishop. Because I think Bishop, from what I know, and correct me if I'm wrong, but Bishop was created for the 2003 series, right? And then he was added in this one as well, but they changed his character in this one. Because in this one he is one of the cranks, I believe. Like the things with the brains and in the metal suits. I think he's one of them from what I remember. And that's a different interpretation from what we had in the 2003 series, which would be fine if not for the fact that in the 2003 series we literally had a character that was friendly to the turtles, who was a brain in a suit, and he was a little bit of a badass as well. They could have just taken that character instead of just ruining Bishop. I would have preferred if Bishop was a separate character, similar to his 2003 version, because honestly, he's one of the amazing things about that series. Like, he's definitely my favorite character by far. And every scene that he was in was so entertaining. And I think probably some of the best, if not the best fights of the 2003 series are the ones in which he was fighting. And talking about the fighting in this one, it is much more fluid and much more snappy and hard-hitting. Like, even the sound design is so much better. Like, you feel the punches in a way, you know. You don't really do so, that at least not all the time in the 2003 series. There have been moments, and I still love the 2003 series, don't get me wrong. Just because I'm gushing over the 2012 series a little bit doesn't mean that I think it's better or that I'm shitting on the 2003 series. I still consider that one the superior one and the one that I love the most, so. But I really think that it's actually better than I was giving it credit for, the 2012 series. What else should we go over? I mean, I think that's pretty much it for the first episode. It's the first episode, similarly to my reaction to the Full Metal Alchemist that I most likely, or at least hopefully, uploaded a little bit before this video. For the first episode, I don't really have much to say because it's the first episode and it introduces everything, and because these reactions are inherently me already knowing a lot of the stuff and things about this series. It's kind of the most boring episode. It ends up being the most boring episode to watch and react to. So I don't have too much to say about this one. So I guess we're just gonna get into the ratings for it for this one. And for this one, I'm actually gonna give it a solid 8.4 out of 10. I could give it even more than that, but considering it's the first episode, I don't want to give the big numbers right off the bat. I'd rather keep them for when we get to actual really good episodes. Because this episode is good, but I don't really have much to compare it to right now. I could compare it to the 2003 series, and in a way, it is better in every way than those, because the dialogue is snappy and funny, and the action is so much more fluid and quick. But these two series were made in different eras of television through different methods of animation, and were kind of critiqued at a different standard. Like, the standards of cartoons was different in those two times, so you can't really even compare them. But if we had to, yeah, in a way this is better than every single episode of the 2003 series. So yeah, that's all I have for the first episode. I guess let's get into the second one. In 3, 2, 1.
See, we were just regular guys until we got hit with a little of this.
Well, what are you doing? Playing a little game I like to call Mutation Roulette. Now, you could turn out handsome like me, or you might end up disgusting and deformed.
Like Mikey
here.
Hey!
So, you feel lucky?
Man, this looks really beautiful. I just love his reaction.
Like, maybe he went over the wall.
I'm on it!
Alley-oop?
Ow! Ow! I don't think he went this way.
Look, I'm not gonna lie to you. We've never gone into a fight like this, and I don't know what's gonna happen. But you don't have to worry. I will make it back. I love you, man.
Aww.
Are you talking your pet turtle?
No. Shut up.
That's adorable.
Oh, I'm gonna.
It is.
I'm gonna.
He's a softie as much as he's trying to play it hard.
Oh, my stomach! The
Is that
pain
really
is
gonna work?
unbearable.
I just love their unamused faces. Oh, they even switched to a different camera. This feels so much like a video game. What the hell is he mutating into? Why would you climb the wall so close to
Lucky thing that
them?
van showed up to distract them.
That was the plan, Mikey. We knew Snake was hiding in the unusual rat.
Oh my god, I love this. Okay, it's so funny. That's the one good thing about this series. It's so funny. It is a little bit of a slapstick humor, but it works. Even though I'm personally more of a fan of a personality-based humor, like what we had in the 2003 series. That's the way I prefer my TV shows, cartoons, whatever you want to call them. I prefer them to take themselves seriously with the occasional joke instead of being mainly jokes with the occasional serious scene. Yeah, you know, it's so stupid that cartoons can get away with so much brutality just because it's a robot or just because the blood is not red. That's such a dumb thing because it's still fucking brutal. And I'm not saying that it shouldn't be allowed, but I'm saying that it's dumb that it wouldn't be allowed if it was red blood or if it was people. I think all of these should be allowed.
Don't worry, I'll have you out of there in a second.
Okay, giant lizard thing.
Turtle.
Actually. I'm Donatello.
April.
Wow, that's a pretty... The lock, Donnie! Oh, right, yeah, sorry.
Man, this looks so much like a video game.
Are seriously twisted.
You cannot tell me that this doesn't look like video game graphics from like 10 years ago.
Let's get him!
That's the problem with CGI though. It's gonna get old as it gets better. Old CGI is gonna look worse. While you don't have the same thing with hand-drawn animation, or at least that art style, because it doesn't change. So the fact that it's static actually works for it.
To me, it's weird. You'd think you'd get mutated into a snake.
Yeah, you would. If you were an idiot.
But his name is Snake.
So?
You don't understand science.
No, but I do. Alchemy. Oh, they actually got it this time? That's fun.
Oh, good! For a second there, I thought this was gonna be too easy.
Like, we never had this kind of action in 2003 series. I still love it. Because it was focused on writing more rather than action. But it's an action series, so of course the action has to be cool. How the fuck do you survive all of that?
You okay?
Dad.
And I think I figured out why you made me leader.
Oh? Why is that?
Because you sensed inside me a true warrior spirit that could forge us all into the heroes we are destined to become.
No.
No? Then why did you make me leader?
Because you asked.
So, my old enemy is in New York and training his own army. At last, I can finish what I started so long ago. Prepare my jet. I'm going to visit an old friend.
Honestly, I'm not a big fan of his voice. It's a little bit too generic, gravelly voice for a villain kind of thing, you know? But okay. It's kind of weird how both shows that I'm reacting to right now, aka the TMNT 2012 and the Full Metal Alchemist 2003, both feel weirdly good written. like as if they're not just written for as a kids show. I don't know, maybe it's just the other two shows that I've reacted to, those being Transformers Armada and TMNT 2003, have just had weaker writing, but I don't know, I could easily see the plots and the dialogue and everything written in both shows, so in both shows as first two episodes, be done in the exact same way for a live action TV series. I don't know, I guess the writing is just that good. I don't know, because like that's the kind of vibe I'm getting. I can easily see this being written for a actual TV show, live action TV show as well. Like it's giving me the same vibes as the movie, the TMNT movie that was the live action one. Yeah, I feel like for this episode, in a different way compared to the Full Metal Alchemist, the first episode was actually a little bit more entertaining than the second one. Because for the Full Metal Alchemist, for the two episodes, at first I wasn't sure, my expectations for the series were very different from what it ended up being. And I wasn't sure exactly how good it's going to be, so I was a little bit confused about the way I should react to certain scenes and all that jazz, so the reaction to the first episode wasn't that good. But for this series, I pretty much knew exactly what I was going to be getting into, and the first episode is the episode that I have seen the most, I would say, maybe, or just the one that I actually genuinely remember the most, because there was nothing that happened in the episode wasn't anything that I did not remember. But for the second episode, I actually didn't remember necessarily watching it. I have obviously seen it before, but I didn't necessarily remember any of the events. Like I didn't have them pictured in my head while I did for the first episode. So for the second one, also the jokes weren't really... Okay, so in the case of TMNT, it's gonna be a different opinion for the second episode compared to Full Metal Alchemist. Because for... Okay, so for this one, in the difference compared to Full Metal Alchemist, I actually enjoyed the first episode a little bit more than the second one, or maybe quite a bit more than the second one. I think it's mainly because the first episode was more similar to my expectations for what it was going to be, because I pretty much knew what I was getting into and I have seen it before and I remember it relatively well. So it ticked all the boxes that I was expecting that it was going to, and even had more funny jokes than I was expecting it was going to have, so it was super entertaining. Well, for the second episode, there was still plenty of funny jokes and cool action, but I don't know, for some reason just didn't quite manage to live up to the first one. I don't know what it is about it. I don't know if I mentioned it during the reaction, but I think the Krunks are gonna be a very annoying villain for me because of the way they talk, and I literally have to focus all my attention on what they're saying to be able to understand what they're saying. Because for me, it's already decently hard to be able to follow conversation and actually hear and understand what they're saying as it is. Because as much as I can actually understand English, I'm still not perfect in terms of understanding it in the moment. Like, I can understand most of the stuff, but not everything. So they're gonna be a very annoying villain in terms of that, but still, I don't know. They're not that interesting to me in general. I think that I like how they did them in the 2003 series, and honestly, I don't see a reason to change them for this one, but they already did, so I don't know. But yeah, I don't have much to add to this episode that I didn't already say in the last one. They set up much more stuff with like the review of the Shredder at the end of this episode, and with setting up the season story arc with saving April's father, but there's not much more than that. And we're still in the early days, so there's not much to talk about in general. The craziest episodes are not gonna happen right now, so it's stupid for me to expect or to have much to say about these episodes in general. But yeah, I enjoy them quite a lot, both of them. The jokes are pretty funny. The things that I have said are as criticisms towards this series are still valid, because I still feel that a lot of the time they focus too much on the jokes, and that is at the expense of actual emotion and characters. But overall, it's still pretty good, and if nothing else, it's really funny and I laughed my ass off, so hey. And in terms of ratings, I gave the first episode an 8.4 out of 10, so for this one I'm actually gonna give it a little bit less, at an 8.1 out of 10, because it just didn't really hit as hard as the last episode. It just didn't. I feel like there was a little bit more filler in this one. But it was still a pretty decent episode. And again, I don't really give the high crazy scores right off the bat, because we still have like, what, 5 or 6 seasons of this? So it's gonna be a while. And I think there's also a movie in which they team up with other turtles as well, similarly to the 2003 series. So that's gonna be interesting to check out. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it for this one, so hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, leave a like and subscribe. Also, check out the link in the description to my Twitter if you want to follow me there, and to my Wattpad, where I post my stories, because in addition to doing all these videos on my channel, I'm also a writer. And if you end up enjoying my stories, or you simply enjoy my videos, you can head over to Patreon, where you can pledge your support and help keep the channel going, and help support me so I can keep writing the stories you enjoy. But if you don't want to do it, that's completely fine. You can still help me out in other ways, like liking this video, subscribing, and especially sharing this video with somebody who you think might enjoy it. And I think it's pretty much it for this video, so hopefully I'm gonna see you in the next one. Bye!